Edwards, Miss Oliver's coming in.
I'm going to send this back to advanced because it's still very small. See if you can print your instructions. And see if they can print. I wasn't able to print on that, but it's it's small. Okay, Ms. Oliver, you wanted to discuss the lesson plan that was rated independently of the lesson. And you also said I failed to rate observable components. Okay, so just help me to understand where I just rated the lesson plan. But there was no lesson plan except for that one statement.
Well, that's what you said.
Right, but what I'm saying, help me to understand your understanding of my only rating the lesson plan. Where did I only rate the lesson plan? It's very small. It's not printing the way it's supposed to print. I'm not sure why, but help me to which components only rate the lesson plan.
There's no clear instructional outcomes in teacher's plan or practice. It doesn't have to be in the plan.
It's what I observe. So if I observe your plan, that's what I observe. So if I'm looking at your plan, I can use the information from your plan as well as your practice. So if I don't see it in your plan that I observe, but I see it in your practice, it can still be effective. So I didn't just rate your plan, because if I had only rated your plan, it would have been ineffective, because there was no questions in your plan. There was no vocabulary words in your plan.
You see, so you're rating it on the plan. It doesn't have to be in the plan.
What I'm saying is that we have different understandings, clearly. But what I'm saying as far as advance is concerned, this is what I observe, right? And what I observe could be, if I see your lesson plan, I can look at what you wrote in your plan as well as what I looked at in your practice. So this is why here I even say in your plan and practice, because I didn't see anything in your plan, but I saw in your practice, which made it a developing. If I only depended on what I saw in your plan, this would have been ineffective. But because I relied also on what I observed in practice, it's a developing. What part of that you're unclear about? I'm not sure what you're unclear about.
There was no clear instructional outcome in teacher's plan or practice.
Right.
I disagree with that.
Okay. The content.
And what you saw was they had an outcome.
There was no clear outcome. I didn't hear it and I didn't see it. So I wrote what I saw, what I observed in your writing, which was in that box. So that's what I placed here. So when you say that the lesson plan rated independent of lesson, can't be.
But that's what you wrote.
Miss Oliver,
but that's what you wrote.
Observation includes what I saw in your plan. It does. It's observable. That's why I asked for one.
Not seen in my plan. It's what you see and what you observe, not what's written.
Absolutely it is. It's what I observe. It's not just what I observe you doing. It's what I observe in your written plan. It is what you observe me doing. So when I looked at your plan, I observed something. That I observed. So you may want to speak with someone else to get clarity on this, but just understand that I can observe, because there are times when, especially for 1A, if I don't see it within that period, but I look inside, I see the teacher plan for it, because 1A, domain 1A is the offstage component. This is rating you on how you planned for the lesson. And how you planned for the lesson can be seen in what you do. It can also be seen in what I observed you wrote. Yes. Yeah. And this is why I'm saying you're making it more difficult than it needs to be. Because had you have more things in the plan, then I can use that information to justify your knowledge of content.
Because you're grading me on the plan, the lesson plan.
No,
that's
because
what you said.
Where's vocabulary words in the plan? Where vocabulary terms?
In the plan.
Yeah, no vocabulary words in the plan. What did your plan say, Miss?
In the plan. I use the Tinker plan.
Here's what you... No, honey. It's what you wrote. You showed me a
honey.
box. You showed me a box.
The box says the title of my lesson plan.
Okay. We obviously see differently. But at the end of the day, I'm rating you based on what I observe. It's very simple. And I state in your plan, this is what you wrote, for 1E, loops in animation. Loops in animation use multiple costumes and a loop construct to animate Gus. That was the extent of your plan. Okay? So when I wrote, teacher reviewed vocabulary terms with students and students were directed to follow video to learn character and animation, that was nowhere in writing. It's what I saw you do. All right? The next thing you have here is evaluate or fail to rate observable components. What components did I not rate?
You've not rated the questions that I asked the students.
This is about, you're saying components. I rated all of the components. So I'm not sure what else you would like to do, but all of the components are rated. If you'd like me to rate 4E, that one I did not rate. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I were to rate 4E, it would be ineffective. Why? Because I've been asking you to write the lesson plan, to
your
lay
standard,
out not just to my standard. And please note that once you're getting a number of developing ratings in 1E, then this is also for professional development purposes. Because keep in mind that if, let's say, you did not write your lesson plan, and I collected evidence that falls under effective, it can still be effective. The problem is that it wasn't. So it's the ball is in your court. You determine if you want to continue not to write lesson plans and
that is a lie. I write lesson plans. That is a lie. I write lesson plans.
Okay. Well, the lesson plan does not meet the standard of the DOE nor the UFT. And as a result, you're getting developing ratings. And that also resulted in ineffective ratings last year. So it's your choice. You can choose not to write lesson plans and I do what I need to do, or you can write your lesson plans and hopefully they will help to increase these ratings. It's up to you. Thank you.